The Dolor Factor is sponsored by Delia, a romantic paradise. Lime, value every moment. Illuminous, your transformation begins here.
Five months ago, I received a heartbreaking letter from Michelle Samuel from St. Lucia. She told me that her husband Glenn was fighting cancer and she wanted viewers to know what he was going through. Recently, I stood in church with Glenn's coffin to my right. I didn't look at him because I wanted to remember the Glenn I last saw. He was smiling, he was holding his son Isaac, and he was thanking my team and Delia for giving him, Michelle and Isaac a day to remember. So what's happening now to Glenn's wife and Glenn's children? What have we all learned from watching Glenn alive, and many of us knowing that he is now watching us from above? I learned so many things. On this episode of the Dolor Factor, Michelle returns to tell us what happened during Glenn's last days, what she's learned, and what the family is going through. She will also tell us about her determination to continue Glenn's legacy. Stay with us and try to consider how our words can affect your life, because others' lessons learned and shared can become easier if we're willing, not only to hear, but if we're also willing to listen. See you soon on the Dolor Factor. Hello, I'm Delia Dolor. Welcome to the Dolor Factor. As I said earlier, this is a show where I would like you to sit down and reflect, but not just hear, but listen and learn. We're here at Delia Resort in Soufrière in beautiful St. Lucia, and you may hear children, because we have children, and you may hear thunder and lightning, because it's been one of those days where the weather has been, 1 minute the sun is out, 1 minute the rain is out. I'm just waiting for a rainbow. But thank you so much for joining us. On the set today, we have Michelle Samuel, and we also have Isaac, who you can hear at the moment, who's been so good. Isaac, you have been such a good boy. So we have Isaac with us, and we also have his sister. So hello, Michelle, thank you for coming.
Hi.
Now, we have Isaac's sisters. Can you introduce them to our viewers?
Sure, we have Phaedra,
Phaedra,
his big sister.
Gorgeous.
And Alison.
And Alison.
Daughter.
Hello. Nice to meet you. And I know that Mum is very proud of you. She always has been. But why is she proud of you now?
Well, because I placed first in my school for the common entrance examination.
Praise God.
That is so amazing. You know, after everything that you've been through, you came first. It's just amazing. So congratulations. And I'm very proud of you too. I'm sure your whole family is. So we've got someone who's just become camera shy for the moment. Okay. Are you laughing or are you crying? Oh, she's laughing. Okay, maybe you can help us out during the show. So Michelle, thank you so much for coming and for bringing your family to see us. Isaac, are you okay now? Yeah? You okay now? Okay, we're going to get you something to drink in a minute, yeah? Yeah? Good. Oh, a smile's coming now. So, Michelle, why are we here again? Well, we're here without Glenn, unfortunately, but I don't think he's not with us. I always think of him being around.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. I definitely wanted to make an appearance again, just to let everybody know that we are all, well, especially I am so appreciative of all the support that we got during his illness and during our plea for help. And we did get a lot of help. And I just want to say thank you to everyone. I wanted to let everybody know what has been happening after the show and just before his passing and after, so that, you know, they're aware of what has been happening. I didn't want it to be a case where we just appeared and then just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Okay, so what about for viewers who didn't know Glenn, who perhaps didn't see the first show, could you tell us about Glenn? And we will be showing some pictures of Glenn as you go along, but can you tell us what happened?
Okay, well, since the show, we were back home and preparing to have his, I think his last 3 cycles of chemotherapy.
So can I ask you to start from before the show, so
Okay.
that people who don't know him at all can have a basics of what's happening?
Okay, well, before the show, we were in a situation where we were looking for help. Glenn had been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a cancer, was a blood cancer. And
You can comfort him, it's fine, you can take
we
a break.
were seeking assistance because we were unable to afford the medications and the treatments and all of that. So we had been looking for assistance, from the public. Our family had been very supportive, but there's only so much, that our family could have done for us. So I decided to contact, the show to ask, the wider public how they could assist us, with getting his treatments. And it was a success. I mean, persons had contacted us from outside of St. Lucia, from within St. Lucia, from the ministry. It was a godsend. It was like God answering our prayers. And then a little after the show, we were reflecting on, where we were at the time. And we wanted to have an idea as to how we could help ourselves at the same time, make people aware of what's happening, because not many people know of lymphoma, ever even heard of it. So we felt a need to not only help ourselves, but to educate persons as to what we were going through, in case there were other persons living in the very same situation. And we had maintained that throughout, keeping people informed. We had a Facebook page that we regularly posted information on, that kept people abreast as to what was going on with us. And we had persons commenting on the page who actually did sympathize and who empathized and who were in similar situations. So they did actually understand where we were coming from, and they literally followed our story because they felt it was their story as well. So we did reach a mass of people. And we are really thankful for that. And the show really did help us to do that. And I want to thank you for helping us to accomplish that.
You're more than welcome.
Yes.
You're more than welcome.
Well, since the show, Gwen did his last set of chemo, and he was home recovering. But what we did realize that his body wasn't really accepting the treatments as with the previous ones. The first treatments, he was still able to move around, as he had mentioned, still go to town and try to sell his products.
He was still with a smile on his face.
Yes.
He was amazing.
Everything with a smile on his face. And anybody who knew Glenn Samuel would always describe him as this person who always had a smile on his face. And also describe him as somebody who always had his faith that he would be healed. I mean, we always knew that he would be better. I mean, we didn't see the future coming, but we just had this confidence that he would be better. So every time we stepped out into the public, we always had a smile on our face, because we just had this confidence. And since the last set of chemo took place, what had happened was that we noticed that his body wasn't really accepting the treatments, as I previously said. So I felt it necessary to get a second opinion to find out what could have happened, since the last treatment. So is it that, the cancer is spreading, or is it that we just really didn't know. We wanted to find out what was going on. So we went to another doctor who recommended that we do more scans and more tests, so we would at least know where he stood at that point in time, so we would know where to go, moving forward. So we were scheduled to do some more scans in Martinique, and I believe it was the third of May, I believe, when we traveled to Martinique to get the scans done. It was simply just to go to Martinique, get the scans done, and come back with the results, so that we could move forward in the treatments. and unfortunately, you know, he took a turn for the worst. You know, while there, I noticed that he wasn't even able to sit up anymore.
That's really sad to hear. But we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, I would like you to continue that painful memory. This is the Dolor Factor. We'll be right back.